Hey folks, I'm into Minecraft. I haven't played in a while, but kind of wanted to just do normal survival Minecraft. With all the new stuff that's happened, I'm kind of out of practice. I just want to play the game normally, and I'm tired and don't want to do anything particularly normal. Hardcore just doesn't feel, fun. I really could name it that, huh? I think I'll just leave everything as normal, right? Just call it Minecraft for now. What do we want to name this world? Eh, kind of want to name it everything, to be honest. I haven't played in a really long time. Not proper Minecraft, anyway. I'm exhausted, honestly. Been doing so much of everything, and it's just getting hard to properly, like, I don't know, think about it. But I just want to play some basic Minecraft for a bit. I haven't done that in a while. I think it's nice to just take a break and switch back to something that I find, honestly, simple. I want to get better at the game, but I can't do that without taking risks and playing on higher difficulties. But I also don't want to play on higher difficulties when I've, well, got the chance of losing the entire world. Honestly, hardcore is less of a challenge and more of just added fear to the game. It's not as fun when you have a chance of just losing everything. Sure, in normal Minecraft, you have a chance to lose your items, but you're not losing the world. And that's sort of what matters more, I suppose. I don't know. Just haven't really gotten to sit down and play through Minecraft like this in a long time. Figure might be worth just actually realizing some of the builds that I want to try. Honestly, I'm not good at building in this game, but I still want to try. And there's so much new stuff that I just don't know about. So many things that I want to rediscover since I literally don't play this nearly enough to remember everything. Obviously, I have a fricked up control scheme and everything, as any Minecraft content creator does. If you're wondering, I use R to sprint, and that's pretty much the only thing that I've changed about my controls. But that alone is just confusing. And I've just gotten used to it because it's easier than control for me. It seems like such a small thing, but it feels like so much more sometimes. Anyway, I've just been kind of tired recently. I haven't been feeling well, really. So, I wanted to play Minecraft because it's something easy that I can actually do no matter what. And, frankly, it's enjoyable no matter what. Because despite everything at its basic, Minecraft is fun. It's simple, and it's easy, and it's surprisingly filled with content. Sure, most of the time you just go straight for the Ender Dragon, but I don't want to do that. I want to take things really slow if I can. Obviously, I want to try to go to the Nether and do stuff with lower tier equipment than I normally would, yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean I want to do things rapidly. I don't want to rush off into the middle of nowhere, far from spawn, because not only is this a lucky, good, beautiful looking spawn, but also just like I want to work with what I have instead of searching for something better. That's honestly just something I want to do. And fact is, I just should do that. It's not something that is impossible. And with Minecraft's recent changes, it actually becomes a lot easier to do some of the things that I want to. Obviously, I'm probably going to end up using stuff like Seed Map, and honestly, again, that's fine because there's a lot of stuff that's almost impossible to find without it. Ancient cities, for example, don't have cartographer maps. If they did, there would be no reason to use seed map to find them. Because they're exorbitantly rare on their own, though, it's kind of hard for me to find them without spending hours looking for them, especially if we want to take things slow and make them actually threatening. Ancient cities aren't a threat like game. They're just there. You can avoid the warden easily by running away and hiding off where there aren't any shriekers for a short period of time. 10 minutes if you just don't want to be careful, but it gives you more than enough time to flee when he spawns in initially. Even if more spawn, you're guaranteed to escape, but early game, you might not have the resources to do that. That's what adds the fear factor, what makes it genuinely terrifying, what makes that ancient city the ancient city. If you want to experience it in a particular way, obviously, if you don't want that, you don't have to. That's the nice thing about Minecraft. It's a sandbox. You're given a lot of choices. Anyway, enough of that blabbering. I don't usually talk about more serious stuff. Oh, doggy! But then sometimes I just need to. It's easier to do it on YouTube sometimes than it is elsewhere. How do I not have any saplings? Oh, I guess I never actually grabbed any, but... you know, shouldn't be too hard. I mean, we want saplings, right? Did I see fire? Yeah, okay, it's just lava. Nothing too worryful. Anyway, that being said, I wanted to start a new Minecraft playthrough. I really don't need justification for it, but it helps. I gotta get so much stuff. Honestly, I think we just start by surveying the land and figuring out what we want to start with, because there's a lot we can do to just begin with. Obviously, we can make a base in a particular location, find a good spot for it. We want it to be near spawns, so that it, actually exists early. We don't have to search for it for hours on end, and, well, anything that drops into the end itself is a pain to retrieve. Obviously, I'm referring more to the end portal than the actual end itself, but you get the idea. I'm sure. It's unfortunate that I'm not particularly lucky with a lot of this stuff. It only seems to be Noita that I get luck out of, which honestly is ironic considering that game's reputation. Still my favorite by far, though. Minecraft's probably the second out of all of the games I've ever played. No, well, it's kind of hard to rank them. Especially considering some of them are just so well made. The fact with Minecraft's original idea was that it was simple enough that it was basic back then, right? It was simple. There was obviously the idea of, oh, you can make anything out of these little blocks. Isn't that cool? But we still have that. The only difference now is there's just more blocks, more stuff that you can do. Doesn't necessarily change things too much, but it makes it a little bit more refreshing. And the fact that there's updates every year makes it pretty much guaranteed to change every time. So you'll always have something new to come back to. The main issue comes with sort of the fear of that change, something that I've kind of experienced, where I'm scared it's going to change so much that I won't be able to experience that all in an older world. It's kind of an odd idea. Wow, that's a really good spot right there. Like, that is insanely good. I think we've got our base spot already. Anyway, it's just the idea of, I don't want to have to go millions of blocks out just to get one resource, or another, because it's so far out and rare to find. Or with the new addition of certain biomes, things like the mangrove biome and the pale forest that are going to be rarer, or already are in the game and are rarer, it's a pain to get them because they're far oftentimes, and if you're lucky enough to get them near spawn, it's still inconvenient because they're vast in a lot of cases, large enough that it takes up enough space because all biomes are large and transition between each other in different ways, but it, becomes an issue. but it's even more prominent and painful when it comes to structures, since those are even rarer when it comes to certain biomes and spawn conditions. And they might not spawn at all in older worlds due to conflictions when it comes to world generation. But that's not really something that you need to fear with anything beyond 1.18, since at that point all worlds have mostly similar properties and functions that you don't have to worry about there being any conflictions when upgrading versions. It's honestly just a irrational fear I think I have of the eventual addition of new content, thinking it'll be painful to have to search for it when really there will be almost no difference. That's probably the best way to put it. Also, I see a parrot over there. I want to tame him very badly. But first things first, let's get our little outpost set up. Something with torches and, well, just mostly torches. Maybe a beacon of some sort so that we can find our way back. But let's just get torches. The very basic lighting, but definitely works well. Shroomlights are some of the best, honestly. Shroomlights and froglights are some of my favorite lighting blocks. Obviously, nothing compares to Prismarine lanterns, in my opinion, when it comes to just, like, looking nice and fitting a lot of aesthetics. But that's biased because I like blue a lot. Honestly, there's a lot of interesting things that I like about, well, a lot of the generic stuff in this game. The old red bed, for example, way back when it was the default, was interesting. It was awesome. Now that you have more colors, it obviously adds a lot more variety. It actually makes it, well, allows you to decorate a lot better. The fact that there is so much change is a good thing. It's just sometimes annoying when there are changes that you don't like. But you still deal with it. How do I... Is it 9? Oh, it's 9. Oh, that's yucky. Let's save these. Anyway, when it comes to the changes that often are made, they're usually pretty good, but there are some that people get mad about for sometimes justifiable reasons, even though a lot of the times it's entirely their fault. And that only really refers to the mob vote. People are mad because of the glow squid still, even, which is boggling, because that was what the community voted on. It was determined because the community decided to vote with a specific individual, that being, I believe it was Dream back then, who was like, yeah, we should put the glow squid in the game, guys. It'll be fun. Turns out, it really was not a good idea. The glow squid wasn't as cool as it was initially advertised to be, which somewhat the fault of Mojang for showing something that didn't end up getting put in, but also the fault of the players for assuming too much from a mob vote mob when we were given clearly better options than this squid, aka the Iceologer, just better in every way. Instead, we got Funny Squid, which, of course, we're allowed to be mad about, but, like, the point is, now that they've abolished the mob vote, why not just add those in? It was never stated that they could never be added again. And honestly, some of the mobs from those votes were insanely interesting, and I think that the game would genuinely benefit from both those and a lot of the mobs that were shown in dungeons and inside of, Minecraft Earth. The game would really benefit greatly if it had some of those monsters in it. Obviously, that's just personal perspective, but I do genuinely believe that the monsters inside of Dungeons and Earth are unique and interesting enough that they would obviously provide very, very different, interesting creature concepts for this game, but also, like, they would just fit. They were designed to be in Minecraft. They fit very well in their own games, and base Minecraft definitely has space for them. Things like evokers are already in the base game, though there's so few magic-using mobs in the base game that it's really annoying, to be honest. As far as I know, there's only, like, 2, right? Evokers and Illusioner, if you even count that. Technically, the Ender Dragon's breath attack, but there really aren't that many unique magic attacks in the game. Like, you can't count Vexes. Those are summoned by magic. And Minecraft's magic is a whole other thing that I've already talked about millions of times. I guess witches is the other option. They also use magic, but potion magic, which is slightly more boring, to be honest. And my opinion. That's my opinion. People can love potions. I think they're really interesting. Just like they could be done differently. Or, you know, you could give the witches more abilities. Especially stuff like, I don't know, turning into animals or something. Something interesting like that. There's a lot of potential in the Minecraft Earth mobs, especially, since that game was sunset and pretty much annihilated. There was a lot of really, really cool mobs in it, though. There were variants of slimes that had friggin' fish swimming in them. They were really cool. There were, what, Mooblooms? All the cow and pig and whatnot variants that were just really interesting looking. Like, those would have been amazing to see in base Minecraft. Things that they absolutely could program, but haven't because it's difficult to add into the game. And for the record, we know that it is difficult to add into the game. That's not like, oh, Mojang's just having a hard time. No, we know it's difficult because the original code sucks. Minecraft's original code is literally spaghetti code. It is very poorly annotated and written together. It was not designed to be updated in this particular way. It was made by like 2 guys at most, and a lot of the initial code had to be fixed by one of the other guys. It was just a whole ordeal to create. And you might be wondering why I'm gathering so much stone, but honestly, it's just because it's the only thing I can do mindlessly while thinking and talking about this. I'm too tired to do something else right now while I do this. I'm exhausted. So, you know, just ignore that. Anyway, Minecraft has a problem that a lot of people, or sorry, it has something that a lot of people think is its problem, and that is, you know, the content sometimes seems incredibly lacking in updates, but it seems that people forget all too often how not only like bureaucracy, whatever you want to call it, the difficulty of adding things into the game isn't just the code. Because although that's still a massive roadblock, there's also the difficulty of getting stuff approved. Because you can have amazing ideas, but they could also just be shot down because of the potential of them not doing well, or not being good enough in the community's eye. Which we've sort of seen happen with a lot of other stuff. Things like, well, basically the glow squid. It was a really cool concept initially, but because of the way it was executed, it really wasn't something the community liked as much. Same with the Phantom. It was one of the first flying monsters, but it wasn't done in a way that people liked because it appears whenever you don't sleep instead of having some other set condition. Of course, it's not hard to avoid spawning it, but it's also inconvenient when you're trying to spend long periods of time doing a prolonged task like building. It's annoying to have to stop and sleep every once in a while. Of course, there's ways to deal with them, just, I don't know, sleeping, but people are still annoyed by it because it's a mechanic the game doesn't necessarily need, and you don't tend to see in base gameplay unless you're not sleeping, which most people won't be. It feels like it's designed to hinder particular groups of individuals, and that's why it was disliked so greatly. Or at least that's why I think it was disliked so greatly. Another reason could just be people hating the decisions that the creators of the game make for no good reason, which, to be fair, is something that's happened multiple times before. Might flatten this out even more. I'm gonna flatten this out even more. I can just start filling this in. Let's see how deep this goes. Wow, that's deep. We don't need to fill it in all the way, though. Just some of the way. Enough to prevent mobs from spawning. Let's go to here. Don't want to drown just yet. Anyway, what was I talking about? Right, mobs. The game really could benefit from a lot of changes, but that's not really what matters too much. What matters is more the way that the game is handled. Like, the changes could be made. They absolutely could be. They should be. A lot of them should be. But they aren't being made because they can't. They can't get it through all of the stupid problems that they have to deal with at corporate. The mumbo-jumbo that they have to get through to get it approved, to get it written down, to get it all decided upon and chosen. Of course, the mob vote was a great way of giving players agency, but the way that it was designed sort of also took it away. Players couldn't all have what they wanted, because even though one of the mobs was guaranteed to be added, you would never get all three. That's the initial problem with the vote. People liked the idea of getting new, interesting mobs. They didn't like the idea of losing the other concepts. Sure, things like the Rascal, for example, were underpowered or seemingly designed to be not chosen, but people still wanted them. They were cool concepts and ideas. The fact that they weren't able to get them despite massive amounts of people voting, not only voting, but also deliberately choosing to vote for these specific characters, shows that people want this in the game, but they never get added because that's just how the vote works. It's really unfortunate. Obviously, now that it's been destroyed, if we try hard enough, we could probably, get the other mobs in the game. That's to say, don't harass the community or the creators. That's not a good idea. It's actually terrible if you do something like that. But it is to say, make a petition. Don't harass people over it. Just ask them to sign it. Makes a lot of things easier. It also is the most effective way because it shows how many people are actually trying and want this thing to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. So they're petitioning for it. It's essentially just a protest to get what the community wants. It's a great way for it to work, and of course there's the suggestion thing on Minecraft forums, which is also certainly an option. I wouldn't necessarily use that myself because I don't really look there, but I know it works. We've seen it work in the past. A lot of things have been added and bugs have been fixed, specifically because of those forums. And with that in mind, honestly, there's a whole lot more that could be done because of that. Like, there's a lot of stuff that people can suggest that might even get added or fixed or repaired just because it's mentioned on the forums. We know that. It's happened before, and it will probably happen again. But there are things that seem like bugs and glitches and terrible design choices in the game that are completely intentional. And that kind of sucks. There's not really a lot else that I can say about it that I know. I'm only as informed as I've been able to make myself, which unfortunately isn't much. Oh, it's full night time. Oopsie. But even with all that I know, it's not nearly enough. There's a lot of stuff that I don't know that I should learn. I should look into it just so I can have another video of this. But point is, there's a lot of stuff that this game doesn't have that it really would benefit from. And a lot of stuff that it does already have that honestly should maybe be changed. That's my 2 cents of, I don't know, opinion. Thanks for listening to it if you did. It's nothing crazy, I guess. Probably heard all of it before, but this is just a different way of stating it. How much stone do I have left? Oh, more than enough. We'll flatten this as we go. Get things nicer and more level till we have a big platform we can build on. We might even just spend the first couple of episodes doing that. Wouldn't be a terrible idea. Done weirder before. Honestly, the rain is just one of my favorite parts about Minecraft. I'm gonna build a little dock. How does this bamboo plank look? It's not bad. You only get 2 per, though. That's kind of sucky. It's nice that we have a good food source on hand immediately. Oops. It's also nice that we don't have to worry too much about monsters. Oh, there's drowned. Well, they're still not too huge a problem. Trident ones are so rare in Java that we don't have anything to worry about. And we've got a sword if we really need to defend ourselves. Nice thing about bamboo is it's real easy to grow and harvest. Just takes a sword. Although, not entirely sure why you have to use a sword. I feel like an axe would be just as effective. Maybe it makes sense to have it be slower just because it's, you know, an axe. But, I don't know. I'm not the best person to consult for that. I just love this game for all of its beauty, I guess. There's not really another word for it. It's very simple. Especially as far as many other games have gone these days. Obviously there's stuff like Redstone and complex builds, but honestly, at its heart, it is still the same simple game. Very fun. And always enjoyable. Singular piece of iron. Seriously, just one. That's it? Okay. I don't really know what else to say. The music and rain and everything have just all of the sounds that mash together really make this game, well, help make it anyway. It's unsurprisingly beautiful, I suppose. It's not really a better way to put it than that. Can this be used for anything? Other than making planks, I guess? Like, can you make slabs? Can you make door? Can I make fence? No, I guess not. It's a beautiful block, though. Must say. Oh, it sounds so nice. It's just... I haven't worked with many different block palettes. Really, I don't tend to work with building at all, so you have to excuse my honestly mediocre skills. But I'll try to make something nice before I end this video. Make it look like a raft of some kind, I guess, by doing that. And then, I guess, copy that style over here. I drowned, go away. Maybe have the fences fall on here and here. I would need to make this longer. That's fine. Could the drown please screw off while I'm doing this? Screams of the dead are really, really non-conducive towards my working environment. I mean, the problem with going out too far is how deep this water is. But, I mean, it's not like that matters when this is more of a raft than anything. Just love the sound design with these. It's just so pretty. This is a really nice fishing dock. I like that. It's super simple. I should just make a stone axe next time instead of a sword. There's no real reason to... I'll have to somehow make that hit the bottom, but other than that, this is just a nice little dock. Feels amazing to just play Minecraft by itself every once in a while. I mean, I guess I can do this. I misplaced these, didn't I? Dang. The rain is so beautiful in this game, even though it's just a bunch of squares. Oh, this takes way too long to break. Are you kidding me? It's interesting how long it takes to break everything underwater. It's realistic, though. Among Minecraft's many big reputation of being realistic. I love the music. Didn't this break? Oh, it was just lagging. Okay, that's fine. Such a beautiful game. Even if it doesn't always seem like it. After all, how could a bunch of blocks be pretty? Not was accidental, but it doesn't look too bad. Might be nice to add glass onto this eventually. Make it an underwater viewpoint. Who knows what we'll do? I don't. Maybe make this a little bit taller over here and add torches on top. Obviously put torches over here too, but candles would look a lot nicer. Harder to get though. We don't have any bees nearby as far as I can tell. Honestly, this is really fun. Got a little existential since I'm recording so late. I don't think I can cut out a single second of this without it ruining a lot of the experience for myself. I think I needed this. Really badly. I think I'll wait for the music to end before I finish this, but I just want to say, this is a really necessary video for me. I needed to play through Minecraft for a while. Properly play through, I mean. Not just rush through as fast as I can, which, to be fair, I don't usually do. It's oddly calming. Though I guess you expect that out of this game. It's so pretty. I don't want to interrupt it. But I want to at the same time. I think I'll probably read the end poem and its completion at the end. And maybe I'll try to explain the lore of Minecraft while I'm here too. We'll see how that goes though. Thanks for sticking through this stupidly long video. It's probably gonna be like 40 an hour. Who knows? I mean, I do. I can check the recording length in a second, but I don't really want to. I'm not gonna touch the editing on this, and it's not gonna be monetized. There's no point to it, since the Minecraft music gets freaking copyright struck by people who don't own it, even though the music is allowed to be used on monetized content. It's a little bit annoying, but honestly, who cares? Gets to listen to it still, so better than nothing. Sometimes it's really fun to just dump gravel into the abyss. Oh. Fun. I'll mine some more of this, maybe all of it. Beginning a terraforming project at the very start's kind of funny to me. I never usually get to the terraforming part. Who knows, if people really end up liking listening to this or commenting about it, I might make this more consistent. I really like this so far. And that's sort of the point of this channel, ain't it? Do what I want to. Well, that's sort of everything that I can get done for now. It isn't much, especially not for like an hour, but honestly, it's better than I can say for most of my playthroughs. It was really fun. I'll place some trees down. Why not? I haven't done that in a long time. I think it's been maybe actually almost months at least since I've last played traditional Minecraft. I missed this. Anyway, thanks for sticking through the full, like, hour-length video. It's not the most engaging, probably, but I did talk about a lot of things, so hopefully it's enough to entertain people. I don't know, comment back with your opinions. I love hearing that stuff. It's very interesting. For those wondering, this skin was made by one of the people on the Discord. I think they were like Dataro or something. Unrelated, I guess, but yeah, comment on the video, like it, subscribe, and that tells me to make more, essentially. I'm going to anyway, obviously, but just that makes me do it more consistently, I suppose. Who knows? Maybe I'll stream this. Probably not. Can't be super calm on those. Not always, anyway. I think that's really everything I have to say. At least for now. Thank you. Quite a lot. And, have a nice day. Bye!